Areas that are used regularly are often the places that get the messiest. This makes sense. And one of the most frequented places in the home has to be the pantry. Here are some ideas and tips to get your pantry organized. To start, divide your pantry into zones. This should be done based on your day-to-day needs and lifestyle. Here are some possible zones. 1. Staples. This zone would include items such as dry goods like pasta, beans and rice as well as canned goods. 2. Weeknight dinners. In this zone, you can sort the ingredients for the week's meals into separate containers. For example, one bin is filled with the ingredients for spaghetti. Another bin is filled with ingredients for chicken curry. The ingredients for tacos are contained in another bin. 3. Portable lunches. This zone would include items such as bread for making sandwiches, individually packaged snacks and juice boxes. 4. Breakfast foods. This zone would include cereals and oatmeal, coffee and tea, and any other breakfast-related items. 5. Baking. Items in this zone would include flour, sugar, baking soda and powder, chocolate chips and other baking ingredients. 6. Holiday items. This zone would be for items that are seasonal, such as ingredients you would use for holiday meals such as pumpkin puree, gravy mix and cranberry sauce. 7. Kids zone. In this zone, make a snack station on a lower shelf where you store easily accessible snacks that the kids can grab on their own. Creating this zone is especially helpful in that kids can easily get a snack without your assistance or climbing up high, and designating a bin for them to grab from will keep them from rummaging around the rest of the pantry and creating a mess of your nicely organized space. It's win-win. Once you have decided on the different zones in your pantry, assign an area in your pantry for each zone and label it. The most often used zones should be in easy reach and at eye level. Less used items should be up high and heavier items should be stored down low. As always with organizing, keep like items together. Group certain types of foods together such as sauces, crackers, pasta, nuts, rice, breads, spreads, beverages, condiments and soups. If you are able to adjust the shelves in your pantry, think about the items you are storing and plan out the height of the shelves accordingly. One small tip to help make your pantry look tidy. Arrange the items in your pantry by height. While it may seem small, placing things according to height can give a sense of orderliness. Now that you know where items are going to go in your pantry, the next step is to figure out how to contain them. We all know there are lots of different possibilities for this. There are fancy glass jars, plastic canisters, wire or wicker baskets. The list is endless. The important thing to keep in mind is to use what works for your needs and budget. Do you really want to get the fancy glass jars? Or something from the dollar store? Do you really want to get new containers for all of your food? Or just use the container that the item came in? The choice is yours, do what works for you. Previously, I had a hard time understanding why people would buy new containers to store items that already came in a container, for example, cereal or sugar. The cereal is already in a box, why buy a canister for it? The sugar is already in a bag, why put it in a glass jar? Now I understand the reasoning and purpose for this process. First of all, cereal will go stale if the cardboard boxes and bags are not closed perfectly. Putting the cereal in a tightly closed container will prevent this. Placing foods that come in oddly shaped or soft packages, like sugar or rice, into solid containers with defined shape helps save space, allows you to stack the storage containers, and makes your pantry look less messy. Clear containers are useful as they allow you to see what's inside the container, so you can see what's on a higher shelf without having to climb up and take it down. Clear containers also make it easier to see what you have and what you need, which helps you know whether you need to restock and also prevents you from overbuying. For example, you see you still have a box of pasta in the pantry. But then when you go to prepare dinner, you open the box to discover the box is only a third full, not enough for the meal. If the pasta was stored in a clear container, you'd be able to see exactly how much pasta was left, and know what you actually needed to restock. If you do choose to remove your food items from their original bags and boxes and put them into containers, make sure to label and date the foods so you can keep track of when they expire. You should go through your pantry every 6 months to check expiration dates. Baskets and bins are useful to contain small items and things in bags and wrappers that can't stay upright on their own. For example, chip bags can be difficult to store and keep looking neat as the irregular bags might slip and slide. Putting them in a basket will help keep them contained and keep the chips from being crushed. Removing individually wrapped snacks such as granola bars or fruit snacks from their boxes and putting them in a bin will help save space, and also let you see quickly just how many are left so you know when to restock. Another great apparatus for pantry storage are under-shelf baskets. These make good use of any space under a shelf and are a good place to store flat or small items. It can be tricky to store small packets such as gravy mixes or seasoning packets as they slip and slide around and can get lost in the pantry. You can consider keeping all packets in one place and containing them in a small box or clear container. Lazy Susans are another great device to use in the pantry. Lazy Susans help make items in the awkward corners of the pantry easy to see and accessible. Giving the turntable a quick spin will allow you to access all of the items stored in the hard-to-reach corner. You can use a Lazy Susan to store spices, condiments and oils. If you have space for it, a rolling cart can add even more storage to a pantry. It can be rolled around to get to items behind it. If you store the same category of items on the cart, such as baking items, you can wheel them around and easily bring them close to where you need them. Shelving racks can help increase the amount of storage space in the pantry and also help you see more of the items on the shelf. Tiered shelves allow you to see the items even at the back of the shelf without having to lift and shift things around, and are a great way to store canned goods. Lazy Susans, rolling carts and shelving racks are not only useful in the pantry. They are great for organizing in the kitchen as well. Watch my video on kitchen organization to see how they can be used. The link to the video is in the description. Another thing to keep in mind in keeping your pantry organized is to use the first in, first out system. That is, when you have multiples of some food items, store the items so that the older food gets used first. Like a supermarket, this could be putting the newer package of food behind the older one. And as mentioned before, go through your pantry every 6 months to check expiration dates. Here are some last tips for pantry organization. If you have things that tend to drop debris or leave messes, for example loose tea leaves, place them on top of small plates or shallow bowls. This will keep messes from spreading everywhere and make cleanup as quick and easy as emptying the plate or bowl. If you have a large enough pantry, storing your appliances in the pantry will save valuable kitchen counter space. You can store appliances that you may not use regularly, such as a stand mixer or slow cooker. You can also store oversized or oddly shaped dishes on the higher shelves in the pantry. Another tip is to label everything. Label ensures everything gets put back to its proper place and helps others in the household maintain your neat and organized system. Do you have any ideas and tips for pantry organization? Share them in the comments below. Thanks for watching.